Hello, good evening. Wherever you are joining me from, thank you for joining in. God bless you. Today, I want us to discuss an topic, important topic that we cannot avoid because when you look around you, you will observe it. You will observe it, you will feel it. All right. Join me in this series of understanding the real meaning of poverty and how to avoid it. Understanding poverty and how to avoid it. In this series, for today, I'm going to be focusing on the meaning of poverty, types of poverty, and why your starting point does not have to do with your ending point, right? Okay. And we are going to be looking at the Bible verse that talked about poverty. I think we are going to begin with the meaning of poverty. All right. Please, if you are joining, don't forget to drop your comment, drop your question, anything you want to tell me, just drop it in the comment section. I will go by and reply you. Okay. Now let's get to the meaning of. I jot out little things so that it can guide me on what I'm doing. All right. I'm going to. I'll not be waiting for a lot of people to join. I'm going to continue. So whenever you come across it, you go through it, drop your comment, drop your question. Okay. Now, what do I mean by poverty? A lot of people have different definitions to the meaning of poverty. You can't tell me that you have never heard of that word called poverty. Yeah. But I'm going to try my best to define it in my own understanding. What do I mean by poverty? Poverty is inability of someone to afford his or her basic needs. Your inability to afford your basic need. And when I say basic need, what do I mean by basic need? By basic need, I mean food, shelter, access to quality education, access to quality healthcare. These are what I mean by basic needs. When you are unable to afford your basic needs, that is what I titled poverty. And there is every need for us to understand it because you cannot fight what you don't understand. You need to understand it. And until you get angry, good evening, dear. Idris, thank you for joining. What we are talking about is understanding poverty and how to fight it. Because if you don't fight it, if you don't get angry inside of you to fight this poverty, you will end up not living a fulfilled life. Whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Muslim, whatever you believe in, if you want to live a fulfilled life, there is every need for you to fight poverty. Because if you don't fight it, you are not going to live a fulfilled life. That is what we are trying to understand. If you don't fight poverty in your life, you will not live a fulfilled life. This is what I have observed it, and that is the reason why we are talking about it. You have to understand the meaning of poverty. You have to understand how you are going to fight it so that you will live a fulfilled life, so that you will live that desired life that God Almighty destined for you to live. So that is what we are discussing. And we have said the meaning of poverty. Your inability of someone to afford his or her basic needs. And I have also continued to explain the meaning of basic needs: shelter, food, access to shelter, access to quality education. Sometimes poverty is not just about the money that you have in your or the money you don't have in your pocket. It might be access to good resources. It might be access to opportunity. You have limited access to opportunity. You have limited access to resources. Believe you me, if you have access to good opportunity, you might not be in the level you are now. So some other persons might not actually be about money, might be they have limited access to good resources that can help them to fund a good lifestyle. So that is the meaning of poverty. And for the sake of this um will I say, for the sake of this explanation, I'm going to be talking about two major types of poverty. Two major types of poverty. So there is need for you to understand this thing, because why am I saying that? What you don't understand, you can't actually fight it. If you don't understand a thing, you can't be able to fight it. Okay. Please, if you are joining, drop your comment. Let me know that you are here, right? I say I'm going to be talking about two major types of poverty. Two major types of poverty. And number one is absolute poverty. Absolute poverty. And second one is relative poverty. What do I mean by absolute poverty? Absolute poverty is a situation whereby one is unable to afford, um, you are unable to afford your basic needs. That means for you to pay your house rent, you have to disturb one or two persons to be able to pay your house rent. Before you can pay for your children's school fees, you have to beg for it. That is absolute poverty. Before you can feed your family, you have to beg for it. That is the real meaning of absolute poverty. Before you can, go to maybe you are not feeling fine. There is need for you to have a run a checkup on yourself. You cannot afford it. These are basic things of life. So that means you are operating under absolute poverty. Then we have another type of poverty we call relative poverty. What do I mean by this relative poverty? What do I mean by relative poverty? Relative poverty is a situation whereby you have, but to compare with maybe your neighbor or people in your society, you have less than what they have. That is what we call relative poverty. In this relative poverty, that is where some people that you will see somebody going to work very early in the morning, they will leave, they will go to work. But when the month ends, when the month end, they will pay them their salary. Before 1 week, the money has finished. This one is relatable. A lot of people are in this category. You are working, but you don't have anything to show for it, right? This is what we call relative poverty. You are just on a survival mode. Okay? You work, but you don't have anything to show for your work. You wake up early in the morning, but at the end of the day, you don't have anything to show for it. This is what we call relative poverty, right? So, having known the meaning of poverty, having known the two major types of poverty, and again, this thing, two major types of poverty. Let's now, I want us to go through I want us to understand one thing. By the word poverty, poverty is not a life sentence. Why do I say that poverty is not a life sentence? Because you can fight it. You that is looking at me, you can fight that poverty and you can overcome it. Yes, some people fought poverty and they overcame. So why won't you fight and overcome it? That is the reason for this series. The need for you to understand it and the need for you to be able to apply the right techniques for you to overcome what we call poverty. That is the reason for this series. Okay. So poverty is not a life sentence. It is a condition which I can fight. When you fight it, you will overcome it. But how will you do that? You have to apply diligence. Okay. The right strategy. Second one is the right strategy. Because without the right strategy, that's why you will see some people, they they do all they can. They work very hard. They are so hardworking. But at the end of the day, they don't have anything to show for their hard work. Okay, because why? They have not applied the right strategy. It's like a farmer who you have a good seed. You understand? As a farmer, maybe you as a farmer who has a good seed to plant, but is planting that good seed in the wrong soil. That seed will not be fertile. it will not germinate, right? Because why? You are planting the right seed in the wrong soil. Okay, so that is what I mean by applying the right strategy. Otherwise, you will work hard and work hard and work hard with nothing to show for it. Having said this, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9 from verses 13 to 16. Let's see what the Bible even talk about this poverty. I will read. Permit me to read. Okay. They said, sorry. Also, this I came to see as wisdom under the sun, and it impressed me. There was a small city with few men in it, and a great king came to it. All right. Okay, a great king came to it, surrounded it, and constructed large siege work against it. But there was found in it a poor wise man. He delivered the city by his wisdom. Yet no one remembered the poor man. When I was reading this particular verse yesterday, I almost cried. Can you imagine? In a city, this verse is talking about in a particular city with where a powerful king came to attack the city. There was a poor man in that city. He was poor, but he has wisdom. Through his wisdom, he was able to deliver that city. But yet, because he was ignored. This is what poverty can do to a man. Poverty will make your voice will not be heard. It will make you look stupid. It will make your opinion not to be like, or your opinion will you will not have opinion. Your voice will be silenced. So that is when you explore and understand all the effects of poverty, you will get angry in your spirit. And until you get angry in your spirit, you will not be able to fight poverty. If you don't get angry in you and get tired of a particular situation in your life, that this situation, I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to, I don't want it to continue. If you don't have that anger in you, you might not be able to fight poverty, right? Okay. So let's continue with verse 15. But there was found in it a poor wise man, and he delivered the city by his wisdom. Yet no one remembered that poor man. Even though with his wisdom, he was able to use his wisdom to deliver his city as a poor man, but yet nobody appreciated him. This is what poverty can do to a man. You might be wise, you might have good idea, you might have good suggestion, but because you are a poor person, your opinion will be cancelled. You may not even be allowed to talk when others are talking. This is impact of poverty, what poverty can do to a man. Okay, I wouldn't want this life to stretch. Tomorrow we are going to continue tomorrow. By the time we finish this series, my by the time we will finish this series, you will understand the real meaning of poverty and how you can fight it and overcome it. Okay, so this is the essence of this, right? Please drop your comments. Let me, I'm fine. Collins, thank you for joining. I'm fine. So we're going to continue this series tomorrow. Please, this is just an introductory part of this series. Tomorrow, tag someone who might need to understand this. If you know you are fighting poverty, if you know that the level you are, that you don't want to be on that level anymore, if there is need for you to improve, please, you need to join. If you are a student, a student who wants academic success, you need to join. If you are a woman, if you are a mama, a mother, if you are a father, you need to. Anybody that needs to join in this series we are doing together, okay, so that we can uplift each other. Okay, oh yeah, now, bye bye. Have a restful night. Silence the noise in my heart, yeah. I want to see you. See